One of the many, many magazines available on the Next Issue subscription is Maclean's magazine. We often take a look through Maclean's and want to talk about the cover story of the January 20th issue. It's a fascinating article called Boys Will Be Girls, and you can see here what happens when your son tells you he's really a girl. This is, I think, a really hot topic for some people, really new stuff.
I think it's brand new. I think a lot of people wouldn't even be conversing about this.
So I think it's important to converse about it. And it delves into the topic of parents embracing gender fluidity in their children. It tells stories of several families where the parents are allowing their children, not just allowing, but supporting their children in expressing whatever gender identity or expression they feel, whether or not it is their anatomy-based birth gender.
Yeah.
It is such a complex topic.
No kidding.
But very different, I think, when it comes to kids, because typically you wouldn't let a 6-year-old dictate something like that, or historically, perhaps.
Yeah, you would think the little boy or the little girl is too immature, not aware enough about themselves, that type of thing, to even consider this as a topic, but it is happening.
It's happening, and in fact, if you read the article, one family talks about it happening from the age of about 6 or 7 months.
Oh,
where,
wow. I didn't realize it was that young.
A baby boy was constantly reaching for his mother's makeup, and it it just got to a point where it was obvious he wanted to wear dresses, and he was miserable, and the mother said this was a miserable, frustrated child until they allowed him to express himself as a girl.
Yeah.
And then everything sort of calmed down, and I think that speaks to, that level of frustration speaks to what can happen when these types of things are repressed.
It makes you think about, you know, you hear of a friend or a loved one or whatever having a baby boy or a baby girl, and a lot of people will gravitate to the stereotypical toys or clothing for a baby boy or a baby girl. It really makes you think twice about now, like, I mean, am I kind of influencing this, or am I not? Am I doing the wrong thing by getting something that's stereotypical, you know, a blue for boy, pink for girl type thing? You have to rethink the whole process. Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of families who are definitely making that choice. There was a family in Ontario that refused to divulge the gender of their child. They wanted to have a genderless child. But one expert says that you will know, I mean, regardless of whether you're putting a truck in your girl's hands or not, your child will let you know, because this is such a strong impulse, and it's a choiceless, it's the way that we're beginning to understand homosexuality. Is that this is choiceless. This is how you are born, and that there is a great deal of gender variance. That we are not, you know, we in society are we are accustomed to man, woman, boy, girl. Where in fact, the scientific community, I think, is starting to also see that there is gender variance. And I think, to me, the important, and I have some transgender people in my life, so I'm a little bit more familiar with this maybe than most people could be. Transgender youth have among the highest rates of isolation, harassment, depression, addiction, self-mutilation, and suicide. Wow.
And that would make sense with all the conflicting things happening and whatnot.
Conflicting things and the way that society deals with it, and family, and it's just such, I mean, it can be so difficult.
No kidding.
You know, huge props to these parents for allowing their children to be who they are, because it's not easy for a parent either. And
kudos to Maclean's for putting this on the cover, because it'll be a red hot topic now, because it's on all the magazine stands. Obviously, you can get it on Next to You, all those things.
And this is Ollie, who was born Oliver.
Oliver, and changed to Ollie, right?
Yeah, this is Ollie. And Ollie, obviously, as you can see,
the terms gender variance, independence, nonconformity, gender fluidity. It's going to be part of the vocabulary.
Fantastic,
It's interesting.
Fantastic article.
Yeah.
Pick it up on newsstands now.